Super Mario Odyssey has some amazing new features, and the best one has to be the capture ability. But it doesn't end there. Oh no, and there's way more. And today we're going to take a look at all of them and analyze them completely. Now let's start with the star of the whole show. The thing that amazed the people the most at E3, the capture ability. This has to be one of Nintendo's biggest and best ideas in years. This has such a huge effect on the game and opens the door to some cool stuff. Alright, in what ways does this change the gameplay then? Well, Mario is just a normal human, so his skill set is quite limited. Back in the day in all the other Mario games, they used certain power-ups to give you all kinds of new powers and abilities. This way the player could experience a new way of playing the game. However, for this they had to come up with the powers and add them to the game. So of course this took a lot of time, and they could only use it really for that purpose, giving the player new abilities. That's it. In the recent years they started to give those power-ups to enemies as well. Think of Bowser in Super Mario 3D World. He uses the bell. This was most likely done to get some more use out of them and to create new scenarios at the same time. But now with Super Mario Odyssey and the capture ability, they finally solved this problem. They got rid of the power-ups and replaced them completely. They even said this during E3. There are no power-ups in the game, only the extra health one. Now why would they get rid of the power-ups and replace them with the capture ability? Well, it saves time, and they get more use out of it. They can reuse the powers and skills of the enemies as power-ups. It requires a little bit of work, and after that the player can control it. But for the specific abilities themselves, they can just use the enemies. No thinking process, no designing process. It's just copy-pasting. That's the brilliant part. It's new, interesting, something the fans love, and it even saves time. And that's why this is the best addition to the game. Besides that, it's really cool that you can play as some of your favorite enemies of the series, like flying around as a Bullet Bill, or fighting enemies as a real Hammer Bro instead of the Hammer Suit power-up. It adds a layer of depth, since you can now get across certain obstacles using enemies and also solve puzzles that way. Now another brilliant and new feature that they added to the game was the small 2D sections in certain levels. You will come across them randomly and enter a pipe. When you come out, you are stuck to the wall and are playing a classic looking 2D segment. Now where did they get this idea from? Well, if you're a big Zelda fan, then it's easy. The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. One of the game's major new abilities back then was wall merging, which is tied both to the plot and used heavily as a gameplay element. The ability can be used to cling to and move along walls, fit through certain crevices to access Lorule, the other world you play in, and many other functions. Now in that game, it was mostly used to solve puzzles and travel between the two worlds the game takes place in. However, in the world of Mario, they can do so much more with it. Mario used to be a 2D side-scroller after all, so they can just create 2D sections. This is a great way to create some variety, and they know how to implement it since they have some experience with it thanks to the Zelda game. And so the 2D parts were born. And I have to say, they are great additions to the game. It's also tons of fun for the fans of the older games. Both a 2D and 3D Mario game in one, integrated beautifully. Now there are also some small things that they added that make the game better in multiple ways. One of them is the fact that you don't exit the level as soon as you get a moon. This is a huge improvement. Even though it's only a minor thing, it has some pretty big effects. Now you can finally play the game without being taken out of the level the whole time. You can just collect one after another and go on in a level as long as you want. Truly limitless exploring, and nothing stops you. In my opinion, this is a huge improvement over the older 3D Mario games, since it was extremely annoying that you got kicked out after getting a star or shine. But luckily enough, that's not a problem anymore. Now another small feature that they added is the second use of the cap, since you can also throw it as a weapon or to activate switches. This can be great for getting to certain secrets or to get extra coins and other stuff. It gives Mario a ranged attack at all times, which he never really had. Yeah, Flood, but that is still very different from the hat. And what they also added was the option to play co-op, and the second player can use the hat. Fun, but I'm not sure for how long. It's a great way to let your friends experience the gameplay for a bit and to have some fun. but I don't think it has enough depth and variety to remain that for longer than an hour. Besides all the new stuff, there's also some old things that return. The vibe and feel Super Mario 64 and Sunshine had are back. A big open world that we can explore, and all the little side quests and tasks create amazing variety. Nintendo already said in interviews that they want to go back to the old days of older open world 3D Mario games. And they clearly did this, which is great. I'm a big fan of the older games, especially Sunshine. I'm curious what they're going to do with the story and how the game will be. But if they do this well, they could be back on top. I guess we will just have to wait and see how it all goes. Oh my god, a ghost! Look, it's in the cap! Ah! Hey there, be sure to check out my Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Discord server. We do all kinds of fun stuff there, so just click there and check it out. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to watch more videos, click the annotations on the screen right now. And I just want to say that your face is lovely.